might be going. I believe that in the tech-enabled world we live in, all of us need to use our social media platforms to help build our personal brands. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter which industry you're in. And the reason why this is important is because
this exclusive product isn't likened with any or everything else that you've qualitatively come to expect from every other ordinary oil out there. This is due simply because as a sacred part of our commitment to nurturing your inner and outer beauty, the Black Egypt Hefzibah Hair Growth Oil is 100% organic and competently designed to enhance your spiritual intuition while promoting strong, beautiful, and natural hair. Embrace progress acceleration in your hair care journey toward celebrating the divine uniqueness of your hair. Start now by tapping into every strand's true power with this nourishing, all-natural formula. So honor your beautiful, natural hair and join the Black Egypt Sisterhood, and let's keep empowering the Black Girl magic within each one of our healing spirits. Black Egypt. Grace made eternal.
So you're saying social media is a tool. I'm a chartered accountant. To make partner, I don't need my social media to have accounting numbers. How do I build this brand within, how am I building this brand?
a personal brand.
Yeah.
So that's a very tricky question to answer, simply because you have to use it on a case-by-case basis. We're all different. What makes you great doesn't make somebody else great. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there's a very big strategy element to personal branding that a lot of people undermine. And I think that's why they'll use social media, because it's the easiest thing to use that kind of helps you see where you might be going.
We are building a community of like-minded individuals who understand the power of aligning themselves with the vibrational frequency of the universe. By becoming part of our sisterhood, you align yourself with the values of self-actualization, spiritual awakening, and the deep knowing that your purpose is intricately tied to the collective good of the world. If you seek to elevate your consciousness, manifest your divine potential, and live in harmony with the cosmic order, I invite you to join the Afrequency online community, brought to you by South Africa's first and most sacred sorority. Together, we can experience the serenity of becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Embrace your hair's fortune today by getting your hands on and using the Pusaletso hair growth and natural care range, made for and by the Black Egypt sorority, South Africa's very first and most sacred black girl magic sisterhood. Black Egypt. Grace made eternal.
I don't know what I'm doing with this podcast. I don't really plan, because I'm actually in the process of editing this podcast that I just did now. But I actually just wanted to capitalize on excessive momentum that I've garnered from just spending a whole night recording, curating, and this morning editing, of course. Now I'm in the process of exporting, and yes, me and ChatGPT will collaborate in culminating the copy for promulgating.
Can we just talk about how she's so chickened out? I'm sorry.
What is it? A frequency presenting Flowerz. My gooey. I've contextualized Flowerz as a show within the Frequency channel. So the Frequency is a channel.
I'm not the one. Don't fucking make opinions about me or mines. Don't make opinions about me or mines.
Yo, listen, welcome to Flowerz Losers. No one cares more than me, and since we all unofficially care about Caesar Alakind's crash out on Piano Pulse.
You guys are out here running around talking about opinions. Let me tell you something, my nigga. I'm not the one. Don't fucking make opinions about me or mine.
You need to do this episode. I don't know where the fuck I'll put the visuals, but in this episode, I'll be talking about whether or not the crash out was valid.
Also, dude, what's happening with Piano Pulse? Hey, Dudu calls me, bruh.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, Mac, I'm on set of Piano Pulse. Everybody's just going crazy. Everybody's. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, we about to hit 1 million on this one. I'm like, are you sure?
What happened?
So, Caesar Alakind, Reason, decides to gate crash Piano Pulse, which is on the Podcast and Chill network, to basically face Tahi and Sfiso. Munaka was not involved, but he was facing the chance to basically ask them to say, keep my woman's name out of your fucking mouth.
Guys, welcome to a special episode of Flowerz. The name is Jobe Abraxin and the rest is history. Okay, let's open up. Okay, wait. I want to say, since we all unofficially care about the reason / Sizwe Alakine crash out on Piano Pulse, I think we should be talking about it on this episode of Flowerz. But before we get into all of that boring stuff.
No, dog, he tried to trap Loot Love, dog. Dog, he trapped her down. As soon as she won, dog, I watched him. I was like, dog, leave this girl alone. Leave this. I sat him down, dog. He was even leaving his wife. I said, dog, you're gonna regret this. For this, I'm telling you, Fana, it will end in tears. You're leaving your wife who's loyal to you as an ancient nigga as you are, dog. The way you are as an ancient nigga, she's loyal to you. And you're leaving her just so that you can be in a power couple because you want to be a celebrity. Nigga was really willing to do everything, dog.
So the reason trapped Loot Love?
Oh, dog. He trapped her with twins, dog. Gave her postnatal depression.
Don't all women go through depression after birth?
What I'm saying is that most women are proud of being mothers.
And at that point, she wasn't.
I want to read the word of the day.
Don't try to justify bullshit.
I need to breathe. Okay, settle in because I intend to make this a very long episode. Thank God for...
I'm not as young as you think, but okay.
That actually pisses me even off because that means that you have no little reasoning. Secondly, dog, you're a crut man. You're a crut man, Sfiso.
It's one thing to apologize, but to say, look me in the eye, my brother.
Can I please speak, my brother?
Please say something relevant.
You see, that is reflective of tenacities. Okay, so listen, cooler heads always prevail. Okay, so me personally, I am not impressed by reasons. What is it? Hey.
Exactly. Which is what I'm saying to you guys. You guys are out here running around talking about opinions. Let me tell you something, my nigga. I'm not the one. Don't fucking make opinions about me or mine.
And then they just spoke about Gigi and Loot Love that he downgraded from Loot Love. And then Reason didn't like that. Right?
Hey, masculinity, toxic much these days. Sizwe. Is it Sizwe or is it... Okay, actually, I want to say...
I'm only doing this podcast just to title this video, Did Sizwe Have a Reason to Crash Out?
The idea of going there and confronting the guys almost now means people that discuss gossip, celeb culture, etc. can't be free. There are so many people, including myself, who share their opinions on people's lives that are in the public eye. This is not stuff that's in private that was dug out. It's stuff that's in the public eye. And there will be gossip and people will laugh and people will bash and people will compare.
Okay, so yes, flowers go out to Sfiso. Because guys,
so the difference between Tachi and Sfiso is...
Don't fucking make opinions.
But then what happened?
Come here. Oh, don't talk.
Hey, bro.
Again, I want you to come back to facts. Don't tell me about perception.
I don't honestly, I don't want to go back to what I said because I know it was wrong, especially how it was aired made it even wrong because, like I said, there's a lot of things that didn't go to give context to what we were talking about, and it's our fault, it's our team's fault because the agreement there was the entire thing, a reason must go out, the entire thing. But it was coming from a conversation with Piano that was...
Why was it even said, Jesus? Why was it even said?
Can I please finish? Allowed you to speak, bro. If you're not done, I can wait. But please, no, bro. Come on, it's my turn.
Okay.
It's my turn. Right?
Do you? Oh, yeah. And it has nothing to do with Piano. I get him. Like, Reason has a reason to be angry.
Yeah, like...
You know? Like, you can't just come up and say, oh, but don't you think he downgraded? And then after that, when Reason is there...
Face to face.
You don't say anything.
You're like, oh no, man, I respect your craft.
No, bro, you know,
man,
you've been
killing the game. You know, you've been doing the most.
You must keep the same energy. Also.
Exactly. Reason is there. Say.
Please don't cut my chain of thoughts again.
It is what it is, man. You know, come on now, boys. Come on now, but it didn't get physical, right?
It didn't get physical, ne?
Oh, that's good. Oh, it's all good then.
Yeah.
So they said they're gonna report Dudu. Boss Fiso, ne? They said they to you.
Oh, goodbye, Saba. Goodbye, Saba.
But Dudu needs a written warning.
Why are you so pressed, Reason? I understand wanting to stand up for your girl. You could have been reasonable enough to do it after shooting the show if you knew their location. There is an end and expiration for podcasting. Any Tom and every Tom, Dick and Harry has a podcast. Do you have a camera, some lighting, and a mic? You can create a podcast and talk about literally anything or anyone. That brings me back to who orchestrated this whole thing. Somebody wanted this to happen. That guy that rushed in to bring the second chair, the fourth chair, I mean, for Reason to sit. He was very, very excited and enthusiastic to get that chair there.
These are women. These are people. They're not cell phones, dog. It's not an iPhone 16 that you're comparing to an iPhone 11. If I was supposed to upgrade, who do you think I should have dated then? Since you hold the monopoly for dating, tell me, who's the better person? Who? Pertubing. Would you be happy if I was with who? Tuli P.
They bring the person that person was talking about to come and tell their side of the story. So it's like a lot of confusion that goes on in podcasting. It's a very negative niche.
You know, in closing, finally, I'd like to say, I don't want to be the kind of guy that comes onto the internet and just complains about the obvious, that South African social media users are just amongst the biggest losers that I encounter on the internet, okay?
And yes, Reason, what are you teaching the kids, hey?
Imagine a day at work. I was talking early on, about how this could be, as a joke, obviously, a humiliation ritual for Tahi, but Tahi is a lost loser losing, but I do admire the fortitude, okay, in his Pertubing. What is it? Arrogance. Okay. You know, what is it? Delulu is the Salulu. Does not ring more true. When we talk about just, you know, someone who just epitomizes exercising mediocre. What? I want to say pertinence of inferential articulation. Actually, that is the right word. And I want to say, listen, you know.
To be honest, CJ or the Reason is a bully. What he did was bullying. That's number one. Number two, Tahi. I know with the whole even last time, he wasn't wrong. He was never wrong, and that's the thing.
Podcast. It's brilliant and, you know, special to me because you are forced to, you know, just be authentic and be yourself and have authentic responses, okay? See, Tahi was doing his fucking job. And let me tell you something, here's the question that I want to pose.
Who sits around and looks at you and talks about you and your girlfriend or who you're dating? What are you saying about my opinions?
No, let's let him finish. Let's let him finish.
This girl that sits here represents girls like Gigi Lemaine. She's brown, she's short, she's on a hustle, she's not a powerhouse. You're telling me that if I broke up with Root Love and I dated Monaka, you're gonna look Monaka in the face and say, Monaka, you're a downgrade. Is that your opinion? That means that's how little you see of women who are on that struggle, who are pushing that type of hustle. It's not a fucking joke, dog. It's people's lives. This is real life. And where do you come off even having an opinion about my shit, dog? What have you done for this fucking game that gives you the right to tell me what's wrong and what's right? How many songs have you written for the industry? How many people have you fed in this fucking industry? You think these numbers that you're getting, that you're sending to make you the nigga that can sit here and tell me shit? My nigga.
Keep my woman's name out of your fucking mouth. It's basically what he was doing. Why would you say that Gigi Lemaine is a downgrade from Loot Love, who is the mother of his children? Oh, death. Okay. I had Will Smith slap Chris Rock at an awards event, and many of us were not impressed. We were like, you're bullying a smaller guy, a weaker guy, as it were, for cracking a joke that happened to be about your wife, and you took it personally. She has alopecia, and after Jade and August Alsina were like, Will Smith is actually taking out his frustrations on the wrong people. You had Birdman, who would go to the Breakfast Club with DJ Envy Angela Yee, Charlemagne the God, we are the Breakfast Club. Put some respect on my name. I think Reason was wrong to go there. I would have preferred if he'd made a video to say, look, I think it's very wrong that people disrespect some of us because we're in relationships and we take our partners seriously. I've got the mother of my kids, I've got my new woman, and it's disrespectful to be making them a spectacle out in public.
What Reason said to those boys on Piano Pulse is legendary. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Liv Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. You know, Reason is a GOAT. He's the greatest of all time for what he did to those boys at Piano Pulse by calling them out for calling his woman, Gigi Lamaine, a downgrade to Loot Love. And this conversation isn't about Loot or Gigi because they're both incredible women. This conversation is about men in pop culture who actually have integrity, act like adults, and stand up for the right thing. I think we're living in a world where trending and clickbait has been overly prioritized, and people think that having the numbers and being popular is a greater sign of success than having good character and treating people well. That's why these people who are on platforms like Piano Pulse, who speak recklessly without really even an education or a solid background about why they make the opinions they make, have such big egos and big mouths to just talk about people and say things that don't even make sense. They spread really toxic vitriol and rhetorics that we shouldn't be supporting as society, but because that kind of stuff, you know, touches people in their studio, it really pulls at people's heartstrings in certain ways. It will trend because people will feel compelled to react to it, right? But that doesn't mean they create good content. It means that they know how to trigger you in order for you to respond to what they do. And it gives them a false sense of importance, a false sense of intelligence, a false sense of relevance. These things make me upset, and I'm sure it's very clear in how I'm speaking. You know, and another person that I feel really sorry for is Munaka. She doesn't need me to feel sorry for her, but I see this often in these pop culture spaces where you have really incredible girls who are ambitious and you want to thrive, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to take a different perspective to this and I'm going to be in this space. I know some people are saying that it might be toxic or whatever, but I'm going to add my positive voice or my reasonable voice, and I think it's going to help transform things, or at least help us have better conversations. Let me tell you, it never does. I was on that other podcast, you guys know. I came there as me like this, and all it did was drain me and make me have to defend myself all the time. If you're in spaces where you're always having to defend your opinion in silly ways about silly things, you're really not in a productive space. You need to leave. So this is an opportunity for us as women also to come together and create our own viral platforms where we have conversations that don't dishonor us, that don't drain us, that don't require us to do things that really don't work for who we want to be or who we want to become or who we are, right? And I will also say this to you. You know, I used to be the kind of person who believed that because I'm an African, my duty is to support other African people. So because I'm an African creator, my duty is to support other African creators. It doesn't matter what they're creating or whatever, or even how I feel about it. At the end of the day, I must support them. So I subscribe to podcasts I really did not believe in or agree with at all, that I found incredibly violent and toxic. I subscribe, right? Because these are African people. We are told they're successful. So let's not be haters. Let's also jump on the bandwagon and support. Even if the person is not deemed successful, if I know you and I know you're an African creator, I will support the things you do, whether it's with a like or comment, whatever I can do, I will support. But over time, I've realized that it doesn't work to do that, because whilst you may believe in us being holistic Africans supporting one another, the other people you're supporting don't give a damn about you, first of all, or other people who are supporting them. What they care about is themselves and emboldening themselves and being at the top of the ladder. They are not going to spend their liking your things simply because you're African. They're going to judge you. They're going to criticize you. They might even drag you on their podcasts or their platforms, but they will never support you because they don't care if you are African. They don't care if supporting you is also going to help you thrive. They just care about themselves. And so I've made a concerted effort now to only support support African content that I like, that resonates with me, that I think showcases African people in the right light, not in silly, toxic ways like this Piano Pulse and other platforms do. That's just not what I'm about. If you're about that, good for you. But I really love that Reason stood up and he said, no, you don't get to do that with me. I will not be used as a pawn for your clickbait. Because too many people let it slide. They're scared of becoming irrelevant. They're just happy somebody's talking about them. They're happy that they get to trend, so they don't say anything. I love what Reason did. He was a man and he showed those boys, even though I'm sure they're pretty grown, he showed them, you know what, you need to be a man. You need to stand up and do the right thing. Doing the right thing is a good thing. It's a cool thing. Not this nonsense that you guys keep doing that doesn't help any of us as a black collective move further. I don't understand why we're even okay with this culture in South Africa as a black collective. We can't afford to be, guys. we have not succeeded enough as a collective for us to be bashing each other to win. It's self-defeating, it's toxic, and it's laughable. It's so embarrassing. So thank you, Reason. I'm glad you did this, and I can't wait to see more people stand up and have integrity and do the right thing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.